Okay, by show of hands, how many people believe that claims reviewers are sitting in a room somewhere, a dark, dusky, dank room that is just set for torture? And they're sitting in this room, and as soon as the chime comes in, bing, that your estimate has been sent for review, that there's a horde of reviewers that come around your estimate and they say, we're going to make this restorer's life miserable. And so they all gather around and they laugh about your line items, and they're looking to find anything and everything wrong with your estimate. And it takes them about 10 minutes to go through their checklist, check, type up an email, send it back to you.
It keeps ready my estimate. I can't win.
And destroy your life, your weekend, your evening. I know I've felt that before. There's been times when the things that we've been rejected for just seem so insignificant. I can remember a time, literally, I think it was about a 3-day back and forth, and we ended up, I think they ended up saving about 22 cents. And so and you're thinking the amount of time involved in us going back and reviewing the line items, them going back reviewing it, their supervisor reviewing it. It's like,
congratulations, you saved 22 cents.
At the same time, as restorers, we have to take some accountability when they're rejecting us for things like headers or photos not being labeled properly. There's sticky wickets like masking for painting and those kind of things. And there's definitely those in the community that talk about fighting for every single thing that you can get.
What am I gonna do? I can't make any money. What am I gonna do?
And there's definitely some merit to that. Like if it's part of the program and it's in there and it says we can charge for it, but at the same time, especially if you're doing program work, you've made some concessions, right? Some people would say
you've made a deal with the devil.
A lot of restoration contractors, their strategy is to make those concessions in the trade-off for volume. And so it is important, year to year, month to month, quarter to quarter, that you're reviewing whether the concessions and the volume line up, right? Are you making a return on your investment?
This is ridiculous. I quit. They're not even playing by the rules. Play by the rules.
Program work should be a relationship with a carrier, and the TPA is looking to keep us in line, right, and keep us on track.
So the theory goes.
Now, in the restoration community, we tend to put at the programs and the adjusters, and vice versa. We feel like sometimes they hold all the cards and
play by the rules,
those kinds of things, and it's not really a relationship. And so each company has got to look at that on a case by case and see, really track the numbers and see whether are you getting the return on the investment and the expense and the work it takes to produce profitable work, happy customers within that system. We're encouraging. In our recent article
on claims review shredded my estimate.
We are competitive by nature, and our business for us is more than just a business. If there's a personal investment, right? We are a part of the industry because we enjoy helping people at a time when they really need it. We pride ourselves in being masters of disaster. And so it can be personal when someone seems to be unfairly judging our work. And we take that in a win-loss mentality, right? So they won that one, we won this one, and we want to win more than we lose. Do you review your rejections for trends? So is there specific things that you're getting rejected for? Are they base level 101 Xactimate items like headers, opening statements, labeling your photos, those kinds of things that every estimator should know how to do?
I think instead of win-loss,
is the rejection founded? Is it reasonable based in the agreement we have with the carrier or the TPA? Is it, more of a black and white issue, letter of the law issue, or is it unfounded? Something that that clearly contradicts the program requirements that we agreed to, or somebody pulling something out of left field that is not part of the agreement? Or is it kind of in that gray area where it would be a little bit more subject to interpretation?
So thinking less win-loss
and more founded, unfounded, and then how can we come to, again, it's supposed to be a relationship, how can we work that? So there's a worksheet we put together. If that's something that you've never done, or maybe something that you're already doing, what were the results of that? Because if you don't have the data, it's hard to track how things are going, and trying to make improvement, and then being able to go to the carrier and be able to say, hey, here's our data, this is what we're getting rejected for, is there something we can do? Obviously the larger companies are negotiating for the offices in their fold, whether that's a franchise model or a wholly owned model. And so if your office has data, that might be something you can present to your home office or your mothership and say, hey, next time it comes around for negotiations with Contractor Connections or said carrier, could you please bring these questions and considerations to them? And I know there's a lot of the carriers that have like regional meetings, or you have like a regional manager that you can reach out to and discuss those. And so if you have data, it's good for you internally to be able to say, look, they're rejecting us for stuff that we should not be getting rejected for, right? This is estimating 101. Or, hey, these rules keep changing. Here's the data to show that, one day we get rejected for this and another day we get rejected for this, and it's not consistent. So it could be good for you internally, as well as a positioning with negotiating future agreements.